Peace and grace, beautiful cousin. Peace and grace. Happy Sunday, everybody. Happy Sunday. Okay, I gotta use Bella little tiny marker. All right, beautiful people. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. It is February the 6th, 2022, day 24 of year 4 of reading through the books of the law and the prophets and of the 4-year consecutive day count, day 1042. Today, we're going to read tablet 7 of the lost book of Enki. And then we're going to read a couple more pages of chapter 19 in my big toe. I'm going to quit saying we're going to finish it, because we probably only read a couple pages of chapter 19. Linda, shalom, shalom. Belinda Brown, great rising, great rising. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and get this. Kikongo, Kikuyu, star 87. Siami, Siami. All right, y'all. Deuteronomy chapter 6, the New Living Translation, a call for wholehearted commitment. Ale shalom, shalom. These are the commands, decrees, and regulations that the Lord your God commanded me to teach you. You must obey them in the land you are about to enter and occupy, and you and your children and grandchildren must fear the Lord your God as long as you live. If you obey all his decrees and commands, you will enjoy a long life. Listen closely, Israel, and be careful to obey. Then all will go well with you, and you will have many children in the land flowing with milk and honey, just as the Lord, the God of your ancestors, promised you. Listen, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord alone. And you must love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your strength. And you must commit yourselves wholeheartedly to these commands that I'm giving you today. Repeat them again and again to your children. Talk about them when you're at home and when you're on the road, when you're going to bed, and when you're getting up. Tie them to your hands and wear them on your forehead as reminders. Write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. The Lord your God will soon bring you into the land he swore to give to you when he made a vow to your ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It is a land with large, prosperous cities that you did not build. The houses will be richly stocked with goods you did not produce. You will draw water from cisterns you did not dig, and you will eat from vineyards and olive trees you did not plant. When you have eaten your fill in this land, be careful not to forget the Lord who rescued you from slavery in the land of Egypt. You must fear the Lord your God and serve him. When you take an oath, you must only use his name. You must not worship any other gods of the neighboring nations, for the Lord your God who lives among you is a jealous God. His anger will flare up against you, and he will wipe you from the face of the earth. You must not test the Lord your God as you did when you complained at Massa. You must diligently obey the commands of the Lord your God, all the laws and decrees he has given you. Do what is right and good in the Lord's sight, so all will go well with you. Then you will enter and occupy the good land that the Lord swore to give to your ancestors. You will drive out all the enemies living in the land, just as the Lord said you would. In the future, your children will ask you, what is the meaning of these laws, decrees, and regulations that the Lord our God has commanded us to obey? Then you must tell them, we were Pharaoh's slaves in Egypt, but the Lord brought us out of Egypt with his strong hand. The Lord did miraculous signs and wonders before our eyes, dealing terrifying blows against Egypt and Pharaoh and all his people. He brought us out of Egypt so he could give us this land he had sworn to give to our ancestors, and the Lord our God commanded us to obey all these decrees and to fear him, so he can continue to bless us and preserve our lives as he has done to this day. For we will be counted as righteous when we obey all the commands the Lord our God has given unto us. All right, beautiful people. Minimize this. Pull this up. Oh, great spirit, Yah, creator of all spirits, may we bring our spirits into the oneness of you, and let us glorify you in everything we do. Hallelujah. Yahuwah is one. Thank you. Kim, peace, peace. All right, y'all. Let's get to it. Tablet 7. Lost Book of Enki. Hold on. Okay, so I'm gonna read the synopsis. Then I'm gonna read the last couple sentences of tablet 6. Then I'm gonna flow right into tablet 7. Okay, so synopsis of the 7th tablet. Return to the Abzu, Adamu, and Tiamat bear children. Earthlings proliferate, working in the mines and as servants. Enlil's grandchildren, the twins Utu and Inanna, are born. Anunnaki couples bear other offspring on Earth. Climate changes cause hardships on Earth and on Lamu. Nibiru's orbital nearing is accompanied by upheavals. Enki and Marduk explore the moon, find it inhospitable. Enki determines the constellation and celestial time. Bitter about his own fate, Enki promises supremacy to Marduk. Anu gives command of a new spaceport to Utu, not to Marduk. Enki encounters and mates with 2 earthling females. One bears a son, Adapa, the other a daughter, Titi. Keeping his parenting a secret, Enki raises them as foundlings. Adapa, highly intelligent, becomes the first civilized man. Adapa and Titi mate, have sons, Cain and Abel. Let's see, we still sounding Genesee like up in her. Look, okay. Okay, so the last few sentences of, hold on. Actually, I might need to go back to a little bit. Hold on. Okay, so Enlil and Enki were going back and forth, and Enlil was saying, he said, you know what, I was against all of this from the first place. We're in here trying to play creators, and we are not that, right? He said, so let these creations, these beings that you created, let them be where they're needed. Expel them from the Eden, remember? Because Adam and Eve, or Adamu and Tiamat, just found out how they were really created. As soon as they put that life force, that essence into them, which Genesis tells us that they put Adam to sleep, and took a rib out of him and put it into, created Eve this way, and then they ate from the tree. Well, actually, what they were talking about with the life essences is when they said they ate from the tree. Eve took the fruit and gave it to Adam. But what was really happening, according to the more ancient manuscripts, all 4 of them was put to sleep. The 2 Anunnaki and Adam and Eve, or Adam and Tiamat, and then the 3rd person that was there, or rather the 5th person that was there, who did the surgery, so to speak, took the life essence from Enki, which is a male Anunnaki, and he put his life essence into Adam, and then took the life essence out of the female Ninma and put it into the female Earthling, which was Tiamat. So nothing was taken from Adam, put it into Eve, or from Adamo into Tiamat, right? It came from male to male, female to female, right? Okay. And that you've been brought up to speed. Once they did that, that was when they recognized that they began to know that they were different from all the other creatures, and that's why they began to cover themselves, according to this manuscript, right? It wasn't because they ate from the tree because they were disobedient. That wasn't the case. When they realized that they couldn't procreate, they had to give them that last strand, and they was almost literally just like the Anunnaki, or just like angels, right? Now they're literally made in our image and in our likeness. They can do everything like we do, right? Except for they're mixed with the clay from the earth, right? Okay. So now that they saw that, wait a minute, we different. We need to put on clothes. Remember, all the other animals and stuff, anybody have on clothes. So once they realized that they were different from everybody else and they had actual intelligence, they decided to cover themselves. And that's when Enki was walking through the garden in the cool of the day and found them with loincloths around themselves. Who told you were naked, is what Enki said to them. And then they rattled off, wait a minute, my G, we know what y'all did up in here, you know. And so there's like, oh, shoot. Then Enlil was like, you know what? I was against this from the very beginning. Take them and put them where they belong. Kick them out the garden. Let them go be where they're needed with the other earthlings. And that's when Adam and Eve was kicked out the garden. Trina, Robert, Betswabu. Okay. So the last sentence of this, he said, then let them be where they are needed. Enlil with anger said, to the Abzu, away from the Eden, let them be expelled. To the Abzu, away from the Eden, let them be expelled. So did Enlil the command decree. From the Eden to the Abzu, Adamu and Tiamat were expelled. In an enclosure among the trees, Enki placed them to know each other. He left them. With joy did Enki see what Ningish Zeta had done come to be. With child, Tiamat was frolicking. Timnah came, the birth giving to watch. A son and a daughter, twins to the earth beings, were born. With wonderment did Ninmah and Enki watch the newborns. How they grew and developed was a marvel. Days were as months, months to years. Let me read that again. How they grew and developed was a marvel. Days were as months, months to earth years accumulated. By the time Adamu and Tiamat had other sons and daughters, the first ones were by themselves procreating. Before one shar of Nibiru had passed, the Earthlings were proliferating. With understanding were the primitive workers endowed of commandments they were comprehending. To be with the Anunnaki, they were eager. For food rations, they toiled well. Of the heat and dust, they did not complain. Of backbreaking, they did not grumble. Of the hardships of the work, the Anunnaki of the Abzu, of the hardships of work, the Anunnaki of the Abzu were relieved. The vital goal to Nibiru was coming. Nibiru's atmosphere was slowly healing. So they're fully engrossed in the work that the Anunnaki were doing. So the Anunnaki got to come out of the mines, and now the Earthlings are the ones, the perfect ones, just like Adamu and Tiamat. Now they were in there doing what the Anunnaki were doing, and now the Anunnaki are made like lords and kings over the Earthlings that were created, right? In their likeness and in their image. Earth mission to the satisfaction of all was proceeding. Among the Anunnaki, those who from heaven to earth came, there was also espousing and procreation. The sons of Enlil and Enki, from sisters and half-sisters, from healing heroines, took spouses. To them on earth, sons and daughters were born, though by the life cycles of Nibiru they were endowed, by earth's cycles they were quickened. Who on Nibiru in diapers would still be, on earth became a child. Who on Nibiru began to crawl, when on earth born was running around. Special joy there was when to Nanar and Ningal twins were born. A daughter and a son they were. Inanna and Utu, by Ningal they were named. With them a third generation of Anunnaki on earth was present. For the offspring of the leaders, tasks were allocated. Some olden chores were divided. Easier among the offspring they were made. To the olden chores, new tasks were added. Upon the earth, the warmth was rising. Vegetation flourished. Wild creatures overran the land. The rains were heavier. Rivers were gushing. Abodes repairing needed. Upon the earth, the heat was increasing. The snow-white parts to water were melting. The bars of the seas, the oceans were not containing. From the depths of the earth, volcanoes were fire and brimstone belching. The grounds were trembling. Each time the earth was shaking. In the lower world, the snow-white hued place, the earth was grumbling. At the tip of the Abzu, Enki, a place for observing, established. To his son Nergal and to his spouse Ereshkigal, command thereof he entrusted. A thing unknown, an untoward thing thereof is brewing. Nergal to his father Enki said, in Nibruki, the place of the bond heaven earth, Enlil, the heavenly circuits, was watching. By the means of the tablets of destinies, celestial motions he was comparing. There is turmoil in the heavens. Enlil to his brother Enki said, from the planet Lamu, the place of the way station, Marduk to Enki, his father was complaining. Strong winds are disturbing, annoying dust storms they are raising. So Marduk to his father, Enki words was beaming. In the hammered bracelet, turmoils are occurring. Upon the earth, brimstones from the skies were falling. So when they say that there are beaming conversations, I guess that's just like us talking to y'all or hearing things. Like we ask a question and we hear an answer. I guess we're beaming questions, and they call it beaming, right? Because he was clearly, Enki had gone up to the place that he made his abode to observe everything that was going on from the heavens. And Marduk and Nergal, all of them, well, Marduk, I think said Marduk was on Mars, or Lamu. Lamu was Mars. And what's his name? Nergal was here on earth. So when he beamed those questions, I guess it's just like what we do. I guess you can just think it or direct your question, prayer, whatever. But anyway, they call it beaming. Jen, shalom. There is turmoil in the heavens, Enlil to his brother Enki said. From the planet Lamu, the place of the way station, Marduk to Enki, his father, was complaining. Strong winds are disturbing, annoying dust storms they are raising. So Marduk to his father Enki, words was beaming. In the hammered bracelet, turmoils are occurring. Upon the earth, brimstones from the skies were falling. Pitiless demons, havoc causing. Violently the earth they approached. Into flaming fires in the skies they were bursting. In a clear day, darkness they were causing. With storms and evil winds they raged around. Like stony missiles the earth they were attacking. Kingu, earth's moon, and Lamu too by these havocs were afflicted. The faces of all three with countless stars were covered. Enlil and Enki to Anu the king, urgent words were beaming. Nibiru's savants they alerted. The earth and the moon and Lamu, a calamity unknown, are facing. From Nibiru, the savants were responding. Their words, the leaders' hearts were not calming. In the heavens, the family of the sun were taking stations. The celestials, of whom earth is the seventh in a row, were choosing places. In the heavens, Nibiru was approaching. The sun's abode it was nearing. By the seven in a row arranged was Nibiru distracted. The path through the hammered bracelet it was missing. From the bracelet, bits and pieces it has been displacing. Bereft of the celestial bar, Lamu and Mumu near the sun were crouching. In the heavens, Lamu, her glorious dwelling place, was abandoning. Toward Nibiru, the heavenly kings, she was attracted. A queen of heaven she wished to be. To quell her, Nibiru from the celestial deep, a monstrous demon made appear. A monster once to Tiamat's host belonging, by the celestial battle fashioned. From the celestial deep made its way, by Nibiru was it from slumber awakened. From horizon to the midst of heaven, like a flaming dragon, it was stretched. 1 league was its head, 50 leagues in length it was. Awesome was its tail. By day the skies of earth it darkened. By night upon the face of the moon a spell of darkness it cast. To her brothers, the celestials, Lamu for help was calling. Who will the dragon obstruct? Who will stop and kill it? She was asking. Only valiant Kingu, once Tiamat's protector, stepped forward to respond. To intercept the dragon in its path, Kingu was making haste. Fierce was the encounter. A tempest of clouds upon Kingu was raised. By its foundations was Kingu shaken. From the impact did the moon quake and shake. Then the heavenly havoc was calmed. Nibiru to its distant abode in the deep was returning. Lamu, its dwelling place, did not abandon. The stony missiles upon the earth and Lamu ceased their reigning. So when I read this, I thought about some of the things that I had looked at and researched, and even some things looking at NASA, what they were saying, and this Planet X, or they're not calling it Nibiru anymore, they're calling it Planet X. Or what they thought was Nibiru is not originally Nibiru, we're just going to name it Planet X. And they're not discounting that a Nibiru is out there, they're just saying Planet X is not Nibiru, right? Okay, so, but also, within some of those studies, I found that they're saying that when the Nibiru gets closer to Earth, that it starts causing these what they call it. It just said it too. Climate change, right? And Earth goes into an uproar, and you will see some people who just kind of going with the flow of things and just mimicking other people. They'll say that, oh, Nibiru is getting closer. That's why all the earthquakes and everything is going off. It's causing all this climate change. So when I read this part, I began to think about all that. And I'm wondering if this is why they're saying it, because of what they found in the more ancient scrolls, or if it's actually true, if that's really what's going on. Like I said, it's all still on the table. But when I got to this part, I began thinking about all that stuff that I had researched and looking at NASA and all. And I'm like, this is interesting, right? Okay. Then every time it has this cycle. It has this cycle of like every 3,600 years, Nibiru gets closer to Earth, but it causes Earth to go into like a upheaval, and all kind of crazy stuff start happening with the weather, whatever. And because that's its orbit. However they was explaining it, the way its orbit moves according to the time that we calculate, it happens once every 3,600 years. Okay. I just thought it was interesting. Then the heavenly havoc was calmed. Nibiru to its distant abode in the deep was returning. Lamu, its dwelling place, did not abandon. The stony missiles upon the earth and Lamu ceased their reigning. Enki and Enlil with Marduk and Ninurta gathered a surveying of the havoc they undertook. The foundations of the earth Enki surveyed, of what its platforms had befallen he examined. The depths of the oceans he measured. In earth's far corners the mountains of gold and copper he scanned. Of the vital gold there was no shortage. Thus was Enki saying, in the Eden Ninurta was the surveyor, where mountains trembled and valleys shook. In his sky ship he soared and journeyed. The landing platform was intact. In the valleys of the north, the earth, fiery liquids was pouring. So was Ninurta to his father, Enlil, telling. Sulfuric mists and bitumens he was discovering. On Lamu, the atmosphere was damaged. Dust storms were with life and work interfering. Okay, so the sulfuric mist, clearly, y'all can probably tell, are volcanoes erupting and what the lava and stuff that they're spitting out, and the smoke and ash and all of that. Okay. So was Ninurta let me go back. The landing platform was intact. In the valleys of the north, the earth, fiery liquids was pouring. So was Ninurta to his father Enlil, telling. Sulfuric mists and bitumens he was discovering. On Lamu, the atmosphere was damaged. Dust storms were with life and work interfering. So Marduk to Enki was saying, To earth return I wish. To his father he disclosed. Enlil to his olden plans betook himself. What cities and their tasks he planned, he reconsidered. A chariot place in the Eden must be established. To the others he was saying. The olden designs of the layout on the crystal tablet, to them he showed. The conveying from the landing place to the way station on Lamu is no longer certain. To soar toward Nibiru from earth, we must be able. So was Enlil to them, saying, For the count since the first splashdown, the count of 80 shards it was. Now this is the account of the journey to the moon by Enki and Marduk, and how Enki, the three ways of heaven and the constellations determined. Let the place of the chariots near Bad Tibira, the metal city, be established. Therefrom, let the gold from earth to Nibiru in the chariots directly be carried. So Ninurta of Bad Tibira, the commander, to them words was saying. Enlil to the words of Ninurta, his son gave heed. Of his son's wisdom he was proud. To Anu, the king, Enlil, the plan quickly conveyed. To him words he was saying. Let a place of celestial chariots in the Eden be established. Near the place where the gold ores are smelted and refined, let it be built. Let the pure gold in the chariots directly from earth to Nibiru be carried. Directly to earth from Nibiru, let heroes and supplies be coming. Of great merit is the plan of my brother. Enki to their father Anu was saying, a great disadvantage in its core it is holding. The net pull of earth is than Lamu's much greater. To overcome it, our powers shall be exhausted. Before there is rush to deciding, let us an alternative examine. Nearby the earth, a companion it has, the moon it is. Smaller is its net pool. Ascent and descent thereon little effort will require. Let us it as a way station consider. Let me and Marduk thereto journey. The two plans Anu the king before counselors and savants for considering presented. Let the moon be examined first. The king they did advise. Let the moon be first examined. Anu to Enki and Enlil the decision beamed. Enki was greatly joyed. The moon to him always was alluring. Whether somewhere waters it is hiding, what atmosphere it possesses, he did always wonder. In sleepless nights, its silvery, cool disk with bewitchment he observed. Its waxing and waning, a game with the sun played, a wonder of wonders he deemed. What secrets from the beginning it beheld, he wished to uncover. In a rocket ship did Enki and Marduk to the moon journey. Thrice they the earth's companion encircled. The deep womb by the dragon calls they observed. By many hollows, the handiwork of smashing demons was the moon's face marked. In a place of rolling hills, they set the rocket ships down. In its midst, they landed. So, when it got to this part, it was talking about by many hollows, the handiwork of smashing demons was the moon's face marked. So if you go out there, especially, you can see it really clearly on a full moon. It looks like there are transparent, darkened places within the moon's face, right? Or you can even just pull up a picture of it and then verify when you go out and watch the moon as it's filling in light. It actually, by the time it's full, it actually looks like there's a face in the disk of the moon. You can tell it's fully bright, but you can tell there are some darker places that may or may not be craters, but there is something that's there, right? So I believe that's what they're talking about here. By many hollows, the handiwork of smashing demons was the moon's face marked. In a place of rolling hills, they set the rocket ship down. In its midst, they landed. From the place, the earth they could observe, and the expanse of the heavens. Eagles' helmets they had to don. The atmosphere was for breathing insufficient. With ease they walked about. In this and that direction they went. The evil dragon's handiwork was dryness and desolation. Unlike Lamu it is. For a way station it is unsuitable to his father, Marduk was saying. Let us abandon this place. Let us to earth return. Do not be hasty, my son. So was Enki to Marduk saying. Okay, so if you don't remember, or maybe that's coming up. I think we already read it though. But I could have read it in the other one that I'm reading. I might be getting them mixed up. And the wars of gods and men. It's another translation with some other details about what happened with the battle of the gods and everything, and how they was fighting in the celestials, which is how the moon got damaged, right? Yeah, we read a little bit of it because that's when I think it was Enki who had grabbed Tiamat and stretched her wide, and that's when they saw gold within her veins and stuff, right? And the earth was, he dismembered Tiamat, broke her apart, and now a portion of Tiamat is called the earth, the actual place, right? So the celestial being which earth is created out of is called Tiamat, but there is a human earthling that they named Tiamat, which is Adamu's wife, right? They said, and after the earth, let her be named Tiamat. So if you forgot that part, go back and read it. I forget which tablet it's in, but it's one of the first few tablets that we read already. All right, so, but that's how the moon got destroyed during the war of the gods when they were fighting over who was going to reign and whatnot. Okay, let us abandon this place. Let us to earth return. Do not be hasty, my son. So was Enki to Marduk, saying, are you not by the celestial dance of earth and moon and sun enchanted? Unobstructed from here is the viewing. The quarter of the sun is at hand. The earth is like a globe, in the void by nothing it is hanging. Think about Job when y'all was talking to Job, I who hung the earth on nothing, right? All of these things, right? With our instruments, we can scan the distant heavens, the handiwork of the creator of all. In this solitude, we can admire. So here they are talking about the creator of all beginnings, the creator who created everything, even though they're the ones who get all these shenanigans going on earth. They're still talking about the creator of all, or the creator of all beginnings is what they refer to him as, which we refer to as Yahuwah, right? Unobstructed from here is the viewing. The quarter of the sun is at hand. The earth like a globe in the void by nothing is hanging. With our instruments, we can scan the distant heavens, the handiwork of the creator of all. In this solitude, we can admire. Let us stay, the circuits observe, how the moon circles the earth, how the earth its circuits around the sun is making. So Enki, by the sights agitated, to his son Marduk was saying, by his father's words, Marduk was persuaded. In the rocket ship they made their dwelling. For one circuit of earth, for 3 circuits on the moon they remain. Its motions about the earth they measured. The duration of a month they calculated. For 6 circuits of earth, for 12 circuits about the sun, the earth's years they measured. How the two were entwined, causing the luminaries to disappear, they recorded. Some of these things you can find in the book of Enoch, what they're talking about now. If you're really familiar, you would recognize it. Then the sun's quarter they attention gave, the path of Mamu and Lamu they studied. With the earth and the moon, Lamu, the sun's second quarter, constituted. 6 were the celestials of the lower waters, so was Enki to Marduk explaining. 6 were the celestials of the upper waters, beyond the bar, the hammered bracelet they were. Anshar and Kishar, Anu and Nudimud, Gaga and Nibiru, these were the 6 others. 12 they were in all. Of 12 did the sun and its family make the count. Of the upheavals, most recent, Marduk of his father was inquiring, why have 7 celestials in a row places taken? So was he, his father, asking. Their circuits about the sun, Enki then considered. Their grand band around the sun, their progenitor, Enki carefully observed. The positions of earth and moon therein on a chart Enki marked out. By the motions of Nibiru, of the sun not a descendant, the width of the great band he outlined. The way of Anu, the king, to name it, Enki decided. In the expanse of the deep heavens, the stars did father and son observe. By their proximities and groupings was Enki fascinated. By the circuits of the heavens, from horizon to horizon, he drew images of the 12 constellations. In the great band, the way of Anu, one each with the sun's family of 12, he paired. To each one he designated a station by names they were to be called. Then in the heavens, below the way of Anu, whence Nibiru, the sun is approaching, a band-like way he designed, the way of Enki it designated. To the 12 constellations by their shapes he also allotted. The heavens above, the way of Anu, the upper tier, the way of Enlil he called. Thereinto the stars into 12 constellations he assembled. 36 were the stars' constellations, in the 3 ways were they located. Henceforth, when the Nibiru nears and departs from earth by the star station, its course shall be known. So will the earth's position designated as around the sun it travels. The start of the cycle of celestial time to measure, Enki to Marduk indicated. When on earth I had arrived, the station that was ending by me, the station of the fish, it was named. the one that followed after my name, titled He of the Waters, I called it. So Enki, with satisfaction and pride to his son, Marduk was saying. That sounds like the constellation or the zodiac sign Pisces, the fish, right? I'm just saying, I'm thinking about all these things rolling around in my head, right? So Enki, with satisfaction and pride to his son Marduk, was saying, your wisdom the heavens embraces. Your teachings my own understanding extend. But on earth and on Nibiru, knowledge and rulership are separated. So did Marduk to his father say, my son, what is that you do not know? What is that you do not know? What is it that you are missing? To him, Enki was saying, the secrets of the heavens, the secrets of the earth, with you have I shared. Alas, my father, Marduk was saying, there was agony in his voice. When the Anunnaki and the Abzu, the toil ceased, and the primitive workers you set to fashion, not my mother, but Ninmah, the mother of Ninurta, to assist you was summoned, but not I, but Ningishita, of me the younger, to help you was invited. With them, not with me, your knowledge of life and death did you share. My son, Enki to Marduk responded, to you command was given of the Igigi and Lamu to be supreme. Alas, my father, to him, Marduk was saying, of supremacy by fate, we are deprived. He's like, well, that's nothing now because Mars is no more. You know, Lamu, we done just had this whole catastrophe. So what am I left with? Like, what is my inheritance now? All my brothers got this, but what is my inheritance now that Lamu is destroyed and the Igigi are down here now under their command? With them, not with me, your knowledge of life and death did you share. My son, Enki to Marduk responded, to you command was given of the Igigi and Lamu to be supreme. Alas, my father, to him Marduk was saying, of supremacy by fate we are deprived. You, my father, are Anu's firstborn, yet Enlil, not you, is the legal heir. You, my father, were first to splash down and Eridu established. Yet Eridu is in Enlil's domain. Yours is in the distant Abzu. I am your firstborn. By your legitimate spouse on Nibiru I was born. Yet the gold in the city of Ninurta is assembled, therefrom to send or to withhold. The survival of Nibiru is in his hands. In my hands it is not. Now to earth we are returning. What will my task be? Am I to fame and kingship fated, or again to humiliated be? In silence did Enki embrace his son. On the desolate moon to him a promise made. Of that of which I have been deprived, your future lot shall be. Your celestial time will come, a station mine adjoining yours shall be. Now this is the account of Sippar, the place of the chariots in the Eden, and how the primitive workers to the Eden were returned. For many circuits of the earth, from the earth were father and son absent. On earth no plans were implemented. On Lamu the Igigi were in turmoil. Enlil to Anu, secret words conveyed. His concerns to Anu, he from Nibru-Ki beamed. Enki and Marduk to the moon have gone. For countless circuits they are staying. Their doings a mystery are. What they are scheming is not known. Marduk, the way station on Lamu, has abandoned. The Igigi are agog. By dust storms has the way station been affected. What damage there is unto us is not known. The place of the chariots in the Eden must be established. Therefrom the gold directly from earth to Nibiru be carried. No way station on Lamu shall henceforth be needed. The plan of Ninurta it is. Great in these matters is his understanding. Let him the place of the chariots near Bat Tabira establish. Let Ninurta be its first commander. Anu, to the words of Enlil, gave much consideration. To Enlil, a response he gave. Enki and Marduk to earth are returning. What about the moon they have found? Let us first to their words listen. From the moon, Enki and Marduk departed. To earth they did return. Of conditions thereon they gave account. A way station is unfeasible now, so they reported. Let the place of the chariots be built, Anu was saying. Let Marduk be its commander, Enki was saying to Anu. The task is for Ninurta set aside, Enlil with anger shouted. For the Ejiji command is no more needed of the task Marduk knowledge has. Of the gateway to heaven, let Marduk be in charge. So did Enki to his father say. Anu the matter with concern contemplated. Rivalries now the sons have affected. With wisdom was Anu endowed. With wisdom were his decisions. The place of the chariots for new ways the goal to handle is designated. Let us what henceforth comes in the hands of a new generation place. Neither Enlil nor Enki, neither Ninurta nor Marduk in command shall be. Let the third generation responsibility undertake. Let Utu be the commander. So it's like, you know what, I'm sick of this. I'm gonna take it from everybody. Give it to your children. The next generation gonna get that way. We ain't gonna have none of this crap. Let the place of the celestial chariots be built. Let Separ, bird city, be its name. This was the word of Anu. Unalterable was the word of the king. In the 81st Shar was the construction started. The plans of Enlil it followed. Nibruki was in the center. A navel of the earth by Enlil, it was designated. So I'm thinking even about the navel of the earth now. And you got different arguments going on where the navel of the earth is, right? Some say the navel of the earth is in the Congo. Some say the navel of the earth is in Peru, right over in South America. And it's just like, I don't quite know yet. Everything is still on the table, right? Nibruki was in the center, a navel of the earth by Enlil. It was designated as on circles by the place the distances the olden cities were located. Like an arrow from the lower sea toward the mountains, pointing they were arrayed. A line on the twin peaks of Arata to the skies in the north reaching, he drew. Where the pointing arrow, the Arata line intersected, the place for Sapar, the earth's place, of the chariots he marked out. To it the arrow directly led. It from Nibruki was by an equal circle precisely located. Ingenious was the plan. By its precision, all were made to wonder. In the 82nd Shar was the construction of Sippar completed. To the hero Utu of Enlil, the grandson, its command was given. So when it talked about, I'm thinking about like everything. How when you go high above the earth, how things are located in different designs in the earth, and how people knew the earth was shaped. I mean, not earth. They call America Turtle Island and stuff, and they said from directly above it actually looks like a turtle or whatever, right? So all of these things and the designs, they said that all of these are like precise and exact. And I'm like, that's interesting. So it's not, what it wasn't that the people already here on earth, they just calculated by walking around some way. They were getting instructions from on high, because remember, not saying that it was Enki or it was Enki or it wasn't Enki, but somebody who was looking at everything on high was mapping everything out and relaying that information down to the people who were here already, which is why everything is marked out with precision, right? Listen. Like an arrow from the lower sea toward the mountains pointing, they were arrayed. A line on the twin peaks of Arata to the skies in the north reaching, he drew. Where the pointing arrow, the Arata line intersected. The place for Sapar, the earth's place of the chariots, he marked out. To it the arrow directly led. It from Nibruki was by an equal circle precisely located. Ingenious was the plan. By its precision, all were made to wonder. In the 82nd Shar was the construction of Sippar completed. To the hero Utu of Enlil, the grandson, its command was given. An eagle's helmet for him was fashioned. With eagle's wings was he decorated. In the first chariot from Nibiru to Sippar directly come, Anu was traveling. To view for himself the installations he desired, to marvel at what was attained he wanted. For the occasion, the Ejiji by Marduk commanded, from Lamu to earth came down. From the landing place and from the Abzu, Anunnaki were assembled. There was backslapping and hailing, a feast and a celebration. For Anu, Inanna, Enlil's granddaughter, singing and dancing, presented. With affection, Anu kissed her, and Anunitu, Anu's beloved, he fondly called her. Before departing, Anu, the heroes and heroines assembled. A new era has begun, so was he to them, saying, supplied directly with the golden salvation, forthcoming is the end of toil. Once enough gold on Nibiru for protecting is piled in storage, the toil on earth can be diminished. Heroes and heroines to Nibiru will return. Thus did Anu, the king, to the assembled promise. A great hope to them he did extend. A few more shards of toil, and homeward they shall be bound. With much pomp did Anu to Nibiru soar back. Gold, pure gold, with him was carried. His new task, Utu, with cherish performed. Ninurta of Bad Tibera, command retained. Marduk to Lamu did not return. With his father to the Abzu he did not go. Over all the lands he wished to roam. In his skyship the earth to comprehend. Of the Ijiji, some on Lamu, some on earth, Utu was the commander made. After Anu to Nibiru returned, on earth the leaders great expectations had. So they haven't gotten enough gold yet? Not yet. Apparently not. Apparently not. It looks like they're a part of the way there. Because remember, the first time they got the gold up there and they did whatever it was in Nibiru, it healed the whatever it was going on in their atmosphere, but only for a short period of time. And then that's what it was like, look, we need more gold because now it's reversed, and apparently it wasn't enough to hold the healing, whatever it was, right? So that's why they still need more gold, right? So they got this amount, I guess, calculated. I ain't figured it out yet. They got this amount calculated that they're going to need, but there are some things that are going to happen along the way. So just, I keep reading. A few more shards of toil, and homeward they shall be bound. With much pomp did Anu to Nibiru soar back. Gold, pure gold, with him was carried. His new task, Utu with cherish performed. Ninurta of Bad Tibera, command retained. Marduk to Lamu did not return. With his father to the Abzu he did not go. Over all the lands he wished to roam. In his skyship the earth to comprehend. Of the Ijiji, some on Lamu, some on earth, Utu was the commander made. After Anu to Nibiru returned, on earth the leaders great expectations had. With renewed vigor to labor, the Anunnaki they expected. Gold quickly to amass, thereby quicker homebound to be. That, alas, was not what came to pass. Linda, it's not what came to pass. All right, pay attention. As things start changing, what's going to happen here? In the Abzu, relief, not continued toil, was the Anunnaki's expectation. Now that the Earthlings are proliferating, let them provide the labor. So were the Anunnaki and the Abzu saying. In the Eden, the tasks were greater. More abodes, more provisions were required. For primitive workers to the Abzu confined, For primitive workers to the Abzu confined, did the Eden heroes clamor. For 40 shards was relief, only to the Abzu provided. The heroes in the Eden shouted, our toil has increased beyond endurance. Let us have the workers too. While Enlil and Enki the matter were debating, Ninurta the decision into his hands took. With 50 heroes, an expedition to the Abzu he led. With weapons they were armed. In the forest and the steppes of the Abzu, the Earthlings they chased. With nets they captured them, male and female, to the Eden they brought them. To do all manner of chores in the orchards and in the cities they trained them. By the doings was Enki angered, by them was Enlil enraged. My expelling of Adamu and Tiamat you have overturned. So Enlil to Ninurta said. So remember, they said, get all the Earthlings, everybody that you done created, none of them can be here, right? Kick them out, which is what Genesis probably is referring to at when Adam and Eve got kicked out, the garden was protected by this cherubim. No other earthling could come in, right? Only the heavenly hosts are allowed in here. So what happens is, and they kind of cut all of the rest of the story off, and they just skip to something else in the Bible. So now that the work is getting a little bit harder for what they're doing in the Garden of Eden, they went back and got the earthlings and brought them back in, right? And this is what Enlil, this is why Enlil was enraged. By the doings was Enki angered, by them was Enlil enraged. My expelling of Adamu and Tiamat you have overturned. So Enlil to Ninurta said, let the mutiny once in the Abzu occurring, not in the Eden, be repeated. So to Enlil, Ninurta said, with the earthlings in the Eden, the heroes are becalmed. A few more shards, it will no longer matter. So did Ninurta to Enlil say. Enlil was not appeased with grumbling, let it so be. To his son, he says. He wasn't happy about it. He's like, well, if this is going to speed up, if you think it's going to speed everything up, all right, let him stay. He said, but he wasn't happy with the decision. He still didn't want him there. He said, but whatever to speed this up, right? Look. Enlil was not appeased with grumbling. Let it so be. To his son, he said, let the gold pile up quickly. Let us all to Nibiru soon return. In the Eden, the Anunnaki, the earthlings, with admiration observed. Intelligence they possessed. Of commands they had understanding. They took over all the manner of chores. Unclothed they were task performing. Males with females among them were constantly mating. Quick were they proliferation. Like, first of all, my G, we brought the men here to get work done. They constantly getting up behind trees and stuff doing it. We need work done. They had them all in there naked, right? I was about to make a comment. Kind of like how, kind of like you got drug dealers, and then they dope shop. They got everybody in there butt naked, but they got them in there naked to make sure they ain't stealing none of their product, right? So then they're working. Same thing going on in the Eden, right? What kind of operation is y'all running here? You got everybody up in this piece naked. Except for the ones that's watching, making sure they doing what need to be done, getting all these chores done. Hurry up, chop, chop, right? So what you thought? They intelligent, they seeing all this hanging out all over the place, and you think they ain't gonna be tempted to proliferate? My G, it's a proliferation party. That's the title for today. It's a proliferation party. Okay, hold on. Okay, listen. They took over all manner of chores. Unclothed, they were the task performing. Males with females among them were constantly mating. Quick were their proliferations. In one shar, sometimes four, sometimes more, were their generations. As the earthlings grew in numbers, workers the Anunnaki had. With food, the Anunnaki were not satiated. In the cities and in the orchard, in the valleys and in the hills, the earthlings for food were constantly foraging. In those days, grains had not yet been brought forth. There was no ewe, a lamb had not yet been fashioned. About these matters, Enlil to Enki, angry words was saying, by your doings, confusions was created. By you, let salvation be devised. So also with them in there constantly proliferating, all these generations that kind of sounding like Israel and Egypt, right? They multiply. We don't die, we multiply. It's like they're multiplying like baby's kids multiply, right? That's what's happening. I'm like, yeah, this is real Genesis, Israel, salvation, savior sounding like, right? Okay. Let me go back up. I'll read it again. They took over all manner of chores. Unclothed, they were the task performing. Males with females among them were constantly mating. Quick were their proliferations. In one shar, sometimes four, sometimes more, were their generations. As the earthlings grew in numbers, workers the Anunnaki had. With food, the Anunnaki were not satiated. In the cities and in the orchard, in the valleys and in the hills, the earthlings for food were constantly foraging. In those days, grains had not yet been brought forth. There was no ewe, A lamb had not yet been fashioned. About these matters, Enlil to Enki angry words was saying, by your doings confusions was created. By you let salvation be devised. Now this is the account of how civilized man was brought about. How by a secret of Enki, Adapa and Titi in the Eden were brought forth. By the proliferation of the Earthlings, Enki was pleased. Enki was worried. Hold on. Enki was pleased. Enki was worried. Yeah, okay. Make sure I was reading that right. By the proliferation of the Earthlings, Enki was pleased. Enki was worried. The lot of the Anunnaki was greatly eased. Their discontent diminished. By the proliferation, the Anunnaki shunned toil. The workers as serfs were becoming. For 7 shars, the Anunnaki's lot was greatly eased. Diminished was their discontent. By the proliferation of the Earthlings, what by itself was growing for all insufficient was. In 3 more shars of fish and fowl, there was a shortage. By what itself grows, Anunnaki and Earthlings did not satiate. In his heart, Enki, a new undertaking, was scheming to create a civilized mankind. In his heart, he conceived grains that are sown by them to be cultivated, ewes that become sheep, let them shepherd. Sound real Israeli like. Wasn't Israel shepherds, sheep herders? I'm like, hey, this is sounding real Israeli like now. Grains that are sown by them, let them be cultivated. Ewes that become sheep, let them shepherd, which was why, right? They were sheep herders. Remember, Pharaoh said, well, let them have the best land of Goshen, their flocks and sheep. They can all, I'm thinking about all of this. I'm rolling around in my head. In his heart, Enki, a new undertaking, was scheming. How this to attain, he contemplated. The primitive workers in the Abzu, he for this scheme observed. The Earthlings in the Eden, in the cities and in the orchards, he considered. What could for the task make them suited? What by the life essence has not been combined? The offspring of the Earthlings he observed, an alarming matter he noticed. By their repeated copulations back toward their wild forebears, they were degraded. Enki in the marshlands looked about. On the rivers he sailed and observed. With him was only Izimud, his vizier, whose secrets kept, kind of like his sidekick, his homeboy, his scribe, right? He always with him. The king always got like that right-hand man that's with him. That's who Izimud was, right? They about to start some shenanigans. Pay attention, y'all. Pay attention. Enki in the marshlands looked about. Hold on, let me go back. By their repeated, let me go back. One more sentence. The offspring of the Earthlings he observed, an alarming matter he noticed. By their repeated copulations back toward their wild forebears, they were degraded. Enki in the marshlands looked about. On the rivers he sailed and observed. With him was only Izimud, his vizier, who kept secrets. On the river's bank, bathing and frolicking, Earthlings he noticed. 2 females among them were wild with beauty, firm were their breasts. Their sight, the phallus of Enki, calls to water. A burning desire he had. Shall I not kiss the young ones? Enki, his vizier, Ismud, was asking. He's like, yo, man, look, what you think? Yo, these women, they... Should I not go? I mean, clearly this is a natural thing. This is my key that I should go, right? On the river's bank, bathing and frolicking, Earthlings he noticed. 2 females among them were wild with beauty, firm were their breasts. Their sight, the phallus of Enki, calls to water. A burning desire he had. Shall I not kiss the young ones? Enki, his vizier Ismud, was asking. I, the boat, will hither row. Kiss the young ones, Izimud to Enki was saying. The boat thereto Izimud directed. From the boat to dry land, Enki stepped. A young one to him, Enki called. A tree fruit she to him offered. Enki bent down. The young one he embraced. On her lips he kissed her. Sweet were her lips, Firm with ripeness were her breasts. Into her womb he poured his semen. In a mating he knew her. Into her womb she took the holy semen. By the semen of the Lord Enki she was impregnated. The second one to him Enki called, come here, girl, you too. The second one to Enki him called, berries from the field she him offered. Enki bent down, the young one he embraced. On her lips he kissed her. Sweet were her lips, firm with ripeness were her breasts. Into her womb he poured his semen. In a mating he knew her. Into her womb she took the holy semen. By the semen of the Lord Enki she was impregnated. With the young ones stay, where the pregnancies come about, ascertain. So was Enki to his vizier Ismud, saying, yes, babe. Okay, give me a few minutes. I'm almost done. Ismud by the young ones who sat down. By the fourth count, their bulges appeared. Yes, baby.
After you're done with your bubble, next me and you can go to shopping.
Let me think about that, Tootie. Hold on.
And let me get some ice cream. I need some candy.
It's Linda said it's reading like, hold on, I can't see it. Open up. Okay. It's reading like if we were created by something that the creator created and not by the creator himself. That's what it's reading like. So me and my sister be talking like, okay, my G. So is we the Anunnaki? Is we the offspring of the Anunnaki? Is we the offspring? It's like all these different versions, right? So you got to walk through it. It's like definitely there could be other missing pieces, but at this point it's definitely looking like we're the offspring. Adaya, shalom, shalom. It's looking like we're the offspring of a creation of the great creator, because remember they keep talking about the great creator, the creator of all beginnings, right? And it's not the creator of all beginnings that's creating these more intelligent beings. Not that he couldn't, but he didn't. It's his creation, his sons and daughters. But then I look at it and I'm still trying to see all of this out, right? So I'm like, well, okay. Could it be? Now I'm just rolling. I'm not saying this is what is, y'all. Could it be that the creator of all beginnings, right? He created intelligent beings, because the Anunnaki or the angels are intelligent being type, but they're spirits, right? Could it be that the same process that the creator is doing, he also wants his sons and daughters to do? Just like when we're born from our parents raise us up and teach us, and then when we grow up we begin to do the same thing that they did. We begin to have children, have our own families, and it just kind of keeps going. All of these things I'm thinking about. So that's what it's looking like at this point, right? Hold on. Into her womb she took the holy semen. By the semen of the Lord Enki she was impregnated. With the young ones stay, where the pregnancies come about, ascertain. So was Enki to his vizier Ismud, saying, Ismud by the young ones sat down. By the fourth count their bulges appeared. By the 10th count, the 9th having been completed, the first one squatted and gave birth. By her a male child was born. The second one squatted and gave birth. By her a female child was born. That's right. There's so much destruction going on in the world. Wonder who's trying to destroy us. Yeah, I know, right? We're still trying to pull it all together. It's like we getting closer, but we ain't quite hit on it just yet, right? We're still trying to unscramble the pieces of these puzzles. This bigger puzzle, these smaller puzzles that link to a bigger puzzle, right? Okay. The second young one squatted and gave birth. By her a female child was born. At dawn and dusk, which a day delimit, on the same day the two were born. The gracious ones, dawn and dusk, thereafter in legends they were known. In the 93rd Shar, the two by Enki fathered in the Eden were born. Word of the births, Izimut to Enki quickly brought. By the births, Enki was ecstatic. whoever such a thing has ever known. Between an Anunnaki and Earthling, conception was attained. Civilized man I have brought into being. To his vizier Izimud, Enki instructions gave. A secret must my deed remain. Pay attention, because this gonna sound like something. And before I say it, I'm gonna ask y'all just to make sure I'm not leading y'all in y'all thoughts. Listen, I want to make sure y'all paying attention. For all of those who are very familiar with the Bible, at least with the book of Genesis, right? Listen. To his vizier Izimud, Enki instructions gave. A secret must my deed remain. Let the newborns by their mothers be suckled. Thereafter into my household them bring. Listen, it's right here. Among the bulrushes in reed baskets have I them found. Thus to all you will say. By their mothers were the newborns suckled and nurtured. To Enki's household in Eridu, thereafter Izimud brought them. Among the bulrushes and reed baskets have I them found. So did Izimud say to all. Ninki to the fondlings took a liking. As her own children she raised them. Adapa, the foundling, the boy she called. Titi, one with life, the girl she named. Unlike all... I ain't even asked that, but Tiffany put the correct answer. That's sounding real Moses-like, right? You paying attention? I was going to finish reading this, then I was going to add, thank you. Joy, it sounds like Moses, right? Found among the bulrushes. Listen, y'all. Just listen. Adapa, the foundling, the boy she called. Titi, one with life, the girl she named. Unlike all other earthling children, the twosome were. Slower to grow up than earthlings they were. Much quicker in understanding they were. With intelligence they were endowed. Of speaking with words capable they were. Beautiful and pleasant was the girl. With her hands she was greatly dexterous. Ninki, the spouse of Enki, to Titi took a liking. All manner of crafts she was her teaching. To Adapa, Enki himself teachings gave. How to keep records he was him instructing. The achievements with pride Enki to Izimud was showing. A civilized man I have brought forth. To Izimud he was saying, a new kind of earthling from my seed has been created, in my image and in my likeness. So now let me ask y'all something real quick before I finish this, right? So we got the Moses story, right? So Moses, let's go with what Genesis say, right? Moses, you know, his mom couldn't keep him because they were killing all the male children. She saw that the boy was good looking. I mean, what happened to his sister? But we gonna leave that right there for the second. So put him out there. Sister, go follow him. Make sure he don't drown. They created the basket for Moses, floated him up the river. Pharaoh's sister saw the baby. Her maidens brought the baby in, and among the bulrushes and the reeds. Oh, this is a Hebrew baby. We're gonna keep him. He's good. He's beautiful, right? Clearly, what they were saying about was it? What's their name? What their names is? Hold on. What's the boy name? Hold on. Adapa and Titi. Oh, Titi. That's my sister nickname, Titi. Okay, so now you got Moses. So now you got Adapa and Titi. They were fathered by Enki. Think about this story and who the children of Israel were. If Moses was the brother to Aaron, who was of one of the tribes of the 12 tribes of Israel, who descended from Jacob, right? Who descended from Jacob. Moses realized, wait a minute, these is my brethren over here, the Israelites. I'm going to go be with my brethren and we're going to get out of here. And I really began to think about who was the father of these group of people. My G, according to this, Enki is their pappy. The children of Israel were really fathered by a God, right? So I'm just like, all these things is rolling around in my head. Wait a minute, so look. So all these questions, like, so wait a minute. Who do we really pray to? Who is we really talking to? Do we talk to the creator of all beginnings? Or is we talking to Enki, my G? I'm like, help us, sister, out, father of all beginnings, of all creation. Because right now, I got a bunch of pieces in here, but according to this story, it looked like our real live bloodline father is a god. I mean, that would explain some of the things that the children of Israel could do. I mean, but I digress. So, but help me to get this all straightened out in my mind. Kimball Mack, Joey, yo, all these things is just rolling around in my head. Keep it on the table. Let's go back a sentence. A new kind of earthling from my seed has been created, in my image and after my likeness. From seed, they food will grow. From ewes, sheep, they will shepherd. What type of people was Israel? Oh, they just changed their names in this holy book called the Bible. From seed, they food will grow. From ewes, sheep, they will shepherd. Anunnaki and earthlings henceforth shall be satiated. It sounds familiar, right, Lindsay? Sounds a little bit familiar. Yeah, I might have heard that a time or two. Anunnaki and earthlings henceforth shall be satiated. To his brother Enlil Enki, word sent. From Nebuki to Eridu, Enlil came. In the wilderness, a new kind of earthling has come forth. To Enlil was Enki saying, quick of learning they are. Knowledge and craftwork to them can be taught. Let us from Nibiru seeds that are sown bring down. Let us from Nibiru use that sheep become to earth deliver. Let us, the new breed, Israel and the new breed, all of these things is just rolling through my head. Mom, shalom, shalom. Let us from Nibiru seeds that are sown bring down. Let us from Nibiru use that sheep become to earth deliver. Let us, the new breed of earthlings, farming and shepherding teach. Let Anunnaki and earthlings together satiated be. So was Enki to Enlil saying. So should we be saying, Enki, in your name we pray? No, I'm joking. It was a joke. Some people ain't ready for their joke yet, but let's take some time. Keep reading. Let Anunnaki and earthlings together satiated be. So was Enki to Enlil saying, akin to us, Anunnaki in many ways, indeed they are. Enlil to his brother said, a wonder of wonders it is, in the wilderness by themselves to have come about. Izimud was summoned. Among the bulrushes and reed baskets I them found, he said. Enlil the matter with graveness pondered. With amazement he his head shook. What did Israel the singer know about the new breed? That's a good question, Tiffany. What did he know, or what does he really know? Indeed, a wonder of wonders it is. A new breed of earthling on earth has emerged. A civilized man has the earth itself brought forth. No, my G, the earth ain't brought forth nothing. It was your loose son, Enki. Farming and shepherding, crafts and tool making, he can be taught. So Enlil to Enki was saying, let us of the new breed to Anu word sin. No, what I say? No, your loose brother. Enlil is Enki and Enlil, and Anu is the father. Okay. Is the father of Enki and Enlil. Okay. I said your loose son. It was your loose brother. Okay. Farming and shepherding, crafts and tool making, he can be taught. So was Enlil to Enki saying, let us of the new breed to Anu word send. Of the new breed, word to Anu on the Nibiru was beamed. Let seeds that can be sown, let ewes that sheep become to earth be sent. So did Enki and Enlil to Anu the suggestion make. And we almost think out, this is the last page. By civilized man, let Anunnaki and earthlings become satiated. Anu, the words heard, by the words he was amazed. That by life essences, one kind to another leads is not unheard of. To them, words back he sent. That on earth a civilized man from the Adamu so quickly appeared, that is unheard of. For sowing and husbanding, great numbers are needed. Perchance the beings to proliferate are unable. While the savants on Nibiru The matter contemplated in Eridu, occurrences of import took place. Adapa, in a mating, Titi knew, into her womb he poured his semen. There was conception, there was birth giving. 2 twins, 2 brothers, Titi gave birth. Word of the birth to Anu on Nibiru was being. The twosome for conception are compatible. Proliferation by them can occur. Let seeds that are sown, ewes that sheep become, to earth be delivered. Let on earth farming and shepherding begin. Let us all be satiated. So did Enki and Enlil to Anu on Nibiru say, let Titi and Eridu remain, the newborns to suckle and nurture. Let Adapa, the earthling to Nibiru, be bought. And so did his decision declare. So these 2 twins that came from Adapa and Titi, they gave their names in a synopsis, but we're going to see more of them in the next tablet. And those 2 twins are Cain and Abel. Matter of fact, their names are just about the same in here. And I'm like, man, get the chicken out of here. Like my aunt said, I'm like, you know, why did they recreate the story and give them different scenarios and take things? Well, they should have just gave us the original Sumerian tablets, right? That's what I thought. At least if you had the original Sumerian tablets, a lot of this foolishness could be cut out, right? All right. So remember, now farming and shepherding begins. What were the trades of Cain and Abel, right? Don't, not even from here. Don't think about it from here. Think about it from the Bible, right? Farming and shepherding. Who was the farmer? Who was the shepherd? Abel was a shepherd. Cain was the farmer, right? And it's going to line up as we read it, right? So that was the end of tablet 7. Everybody, I hope y'all enjoyed it. Start getting real juicy tomorrow. Yep, it's even going to get into the death when Cain strikes and kills Abel. Cain tried and sent into exile, all this stuff. Thank you, Joyce. So, where did the Bible and Torah even really come from? Apparently, it came from the Sumerian tablets, is what we're finding out. Some people don't even want to ask those questions or think about it because the Torah is the indestructible word of God. Really? Okay. You should read a little more history, right? I get it, though. I get it. I'm not saying just completely discount it. That's how I grew. That's how I got to the point where I am today, right? This is a never-ending cycle of growth, right? I'm not saying completely discount it because the Torah is how we got here today, right? And we even started at the place, at the people we talk about. Most of us started in Christianity, right? But in our search for truth and wanting to know what's really real, y'all just begin to lead us, right? And we could begin to climb steps and we see things that the people on the lower steps can't necessarily see. It's like we get a bird's eye view the more we keep searching for y'all. The more we keep searching, the more serious we become. So a little more information he gives us. Okay, son, daughter, let me bring you up a little bit higher. Let me show you what's really going on. Let me adjust your thinking, your outlook. You gonna shoot me?
Got my doggone kids, all these guns going around this house. I like they're in war with each other. Because you buying all the toys. See?
Shoot me again.
No.
Shoot me again.
No. Let me go down and get the doggone heavy artillery.
Well, I'm going to go grab Josh's from under his pillow.
I'm going to go, yeah, because he sleep with his.
My kids act like they really be in like, what you call these games? They really act like they be in video games. What is it? Black Ops.
Black Ops, y'all, really for real. They be dressed up, mask on.
Running through the house, everything. They even got Bella running through the house. They locked me up. I'm like, girl, there ain't no jail for real. Just walk out of there. No, you got to come break me out. I'm like.
They be having her handcuffed and everything. They be doing her in, boy, I tell you. They do. For real.
Yes, so okay, y'all. So, go ahead. Get some of that. Okay.
There you go.
Linda said, what would happen to the generations? What would happen to the generations
Give me some
before
water.
us who believed the Bible and didn't have the internet or history to know what was right or wrong?
That's a good one.
Well, I have my theory on it. Y'all may not agree, but I mean, in my big theory of everything, on my big toe, there are cycles that happen. There are repeating cycles that happen. And it's like, at this point, based on more information that I know and understand, I kind of ponder and wonder about, right?
Okay, sweet. Thank you.
I think at this point, I may not be right, but at this point, based on all the information I have up to today,
Mommy,
yes, baby.
you about to be done.
Yes, I'm about to be done. I think they enter into another cycle, right? And they get another chance. We ain't talked about it yet, but
Yeah, look.
there is this
That's wrong in your eyes.
you really had to take a lot of time out and really explain what this is. People kind of get all tripped up on reincarnation, but
You look up.
you really have to understand what reincarnation is, because if you talked about it from the West, a lot of times like, oh, I can come back as a horse. This time I'm gonna come back as a butterfly. No, silly. That is not even what the process really is, right, Tiffany? They keep coming back till they get it right, right? There's a lot of things that I found out, even some hidden words and stuff that they put all through the movies, even when they say, go west, young man, or Carol Ann, don't go towards the light, Carol Ann. All these different things are referring to reincarnation. And if you go towards this light, my G, you ain't, if you go into the light, the light is designed to, though, let me make sure I say this right, because I don't even want to get into this whole reincarnation talk at this point. But going into the light causes your cycle to start over again. And you open up your eyes. Ah, I'm here again, right? That's my babies. They looking around like, I'm back here again. I be joking with my sister. I was like, listen, girl, we got to get this right this time. I said, because I be doggone if I got to come back to this place again. I said, this life has been tough enough. I better get all the wisdom and glean everything. I was like, I need to work out all my fear and trembling this cycle around. I was like, then I need to take my place with the ancestors. I ain't coming back. I'm going to be one of the ancestors talking to y'all that keep coming back here in this video game. Y'all, they put it in video games. You get all these lives. You keep coming back until you get it right? And once you get it, you progress, right? Or you progress in your next, Take this one. No, I don't like this. I mean, I like this one. It don't squeak, but it's too low. I know. We got to tighten this up.
That's because of all of that. You gotta tighten it up.
No, we do. A couple screws popped out.
Can't no screws fix that.
Look, don't do me, Mr. Murphy.
I'm just saying, can't no screws fix that.
What's gonna fix it?
Screws ain't gonna do it.
It could. Okay, y'all.
The screws I'm talking about missing ain't
so
down there. It's up there.
I am perfectly sound,
okay.
Civilized mankind.
Right, gotcha.
Look, you
talk that way when you on this dog. As soon as you get off, it's
what?
havoc.
It is not.
Havoc,
what kind of havoc? I am the peace bringer. Am I not?
Oh.
Except for the other night when I was screaming out for you and you.
Nah, man, here you go with that episode.
Then I was ready to fight you.
But wait a minute.
I'm the peace bringer.
Why you playing though? You see the next night what happened to me?
Ooh, I forgot. Yo, I forgot because y'all, listen. But
I didn't even tell you, I just went back to sleep.
I know what it was because I was asleep. James got attacked the next night, y'all. I completely forgot. I was asleep. I was in a REM sleep. And mind you, since that happened to me, I'm just on guard every night. And so we had made this pact. It's like, all right, so if we sleep and we hear one another struggling, just shake each other till we wake up. Okay. Next night, James got attacked. I ain't gonna say I was dead sleep, but I was asleep, but I heard him, And I immediately woke up and I turned around. He was like, I said, James. He said, oh. I said, tell me what happened. It's like 2 a.m. I'm like, tell me what happened. Was you getting attacked? And he was just like, I could tell he was a little perturbed by what had just happened. He wasn't ready to talk about it just yet. Look, so you ready to share with me what happened?
I totally forgot.
Yeah, okay.
I totally forgot.
But
I
yeah,
just know that you
look,
did wake me up.
look, I did. Thank you. Say it again. Did I wake you up?
You did wake me up.
Real, while you just let her sleep. She probably running from a little pit bull. I'm over there. I'm literally struggling, screaming James and trying to project my voice, make my sleeping body make sounds. I was able to get out grunts. And then you just like...
We made a pact. Before, you remember...
So you should have knew about that pact before
No. Remember something. If you don't remember, a long time ago, I did. He was like, oh my God, why you wake me up? I'm like, yeah, because you was up here moving, stretching and all that. He was like, oh my God, that was a good dream. I'm like, so then I was like, yo, I'll leave, you can wobble and flop all the way to your phone. I'm like, oh, she's still dreaming. Shoot,
okay, but I wasn't doing all that. But sometimes some dreams I'll be having, and they do be good dreams, and then he'll wake me up because he thought something was wrong. And then I'd be like, man, why you wake me up? So I guess that's what he said. He thought about, right? So he just let me sleep. Tiffany, you funny. I just saw your comment.
Take it in there, bro.
That was from what we was previously saying about the chair and the screws.
You can rebuild
Look, okay, y'all. So
You're still
we was done. What time we at? We're at 1:25. I'm sitting here running my mouth like we ain't got to read. Well, Mr. Murphy down here, we might just pause on my big toe.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he got attacked the night. He said he forgot what happened to him.
I did.
But I knew it. I knew it.
Because if anybody knows
Clean woke me up.
If anybody, because if you don't express your dreams right then, some of them, you know what I mean, it's like
they disappear.
Yeah, they disappear. You know what I mean? That's
well,
why
my attack clearly is still fresh in my mind.
Right, but I mean, you used to write down your dreams.
I still do.
Yeah. You might put them in your phone now, but I remember back in the day, you used to.
In my dream phone, yeah, because it's right there. I can just. And sometimes I just say it.
That's when we was poor. We had to write everything down on pencil and pen.
I still write stuff down. Most of the time I do put it in my...
How many people write in cursive?
I don't know.
How
many people write in cursive?
I think old folk.
Probably the older generations.
Yeah.
The new generation don't even know how to read it.
They don't even know that, yeah. People don't teach cursive.
I teach my children cursive.
Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah, they don't even give them a spelling test anymore.
I used to hate Fridays.
Spelling test.
Man, I used to hate spelling tests.
I still give my children spelling tests.
Ain't nobody talking about you, man.
I'm just saying, it's like when they stopped that when Elijah was in elementary school. Elijah, 25 and married now with 3 kids. Yeah. When they told him, they said, we don't get spelling tests no more. I'm like, why not? I said, how they gonna learn how to spell?
Yeah, that's true too.
So I'm just like, boy, the public school system making these kids dumber and dumber.
Bella, how you get some
like they don't teach them nothing. They just they treat them like the Anunnaki treating the Earthlings. Come on, just get them up and going so they can get out here and do this toil for us. They making them good employees for the gods.
But
yeah, she took all her money and balled it up, folded it up, and stuck it back in there. I don't know. It looks like more to her.
What you talking about today? What you got going on with you today?
Oh, we just found out who the pappy of Israel is.
Pappy, good point. Who's the
I's the pappy.
Goddamn chest squeaking. I mean,
it is. Okay.
I told you I got something to help it.
I know you do. Make it nice and tight. No more squeaking.
Tight and right.
Jeremiah gets it from his daddy.
Oh, man.
Oh. So wait, he ain't came down here yet. Jeremiah probably still knocked out. Okay. All right, y'all. So that was it for today. Shoot. Let me see what we got left. Let me look at the page we stopped at. Hold on.
Baby, you got some shorts on? Good job. Good job, Bella.
And Dad, I did my hair.
You did beautiful. I like that. That's a nice style. I like that style.
And I'm trying to put this down here.
Mommy gotta take that down there.
Mm-hmm. No!
Who you talking to?
No, Daddy.
Maybe I'll say this for tomorrow.
Okay.
I think this will go good with what we're gonna read the tablet tomorrow. I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna save this portion of my big toe for tomorrow. I'll save this for tomorrow. All right. So I guess we'll just go ahead and end it today. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Go back and listen to it again. Open up your Bibles, brethren, and go through Genesis and look at some of this stuff. It sounded real Genesis Torah like, and it's raising questions, and it really should. It really should. Make you think about, well, why would they even change the story? Why would they leave certain portions out? Like, why did that even make sense? But look at how, if you look at the full story from what we're reading, and look at the story that the Bible conveys, and you get two different things from both. Am I saying that right? You understand. I'm not saying it right. You take away something different when you read the Bible than what you take away when you read the Sumerian text with all the pieces in there, right? So that's all I'm saying. So you got to look at all of those things and who pushes what, So I'm just like, this is really interesting, really, really interesting. All right, y'all. So with that being said, go see who woke Woody and hurry up because we about to do the blessing. Oh, you got on shorts.
Yeah.
Okay. So y'all, it is Sunday. Happy Sunday, everybody. February the 6th, 2022, day number 24 of year 4 of reading through the books of the law and the prophets. Another 4-year consecutive day count. Day 1042. We read tablet 7 of the lost book of Enki.
Side shirt on him.
What in the world? You act like it was an ice cream truck outside.
No, his shirt on the curtains.
His shirt on the
Why
curtains.
You put his shirt on the curtains.
Oh, that shirt.
Oh, okay.
Okay, y'all.
And I was just there the best thing.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah,
Look, hold on. Tootie. She up here.
You done.
I just realized.
Just let it be. It's on backwards. Just let it be. Leave it alone.
Okay.
She dressed herself. You know what I mean? We let her do her own little thing all the time.
Hold on, y'all.
But why you was tickling me?
I can't believe you went and bought all them toys yesterday. The other day.
It wasn't all them toys.
I looked at the bank account. You was off.
Don't start with me.
By $30. It was not your number. You said this.
I said
You really
about.
exaggerate.
I said about.
You really believe in the word roundabout. You really.
I said
your story
about.
is roundabout.
Oh, yeah.
Moonfall. Okay, Trina, we're gonna watch it.
You don't really be precise.
So what was it?
I am more detailed and precise.
What was it?
And precision with certain decisions that's made. You
$30 off.
Up
Above the price I said. What I said 150. I said 150.
$189 to be exact.
But that was not all toys. It wasn't all toys.
What else did y'all buy, Pam? What else came into this house that I don't know about?
What did we get? Oh, it was the headphones.
It was
the headphones.
Yeah.
I was originally going to go get the headphones, and I got them some good ones, but they was like $30.
You get the plan on? Did you get the protective plan on it?
No.
God,
no, because they got to go through too much.
Mom.
Why you be missing that?
Look,
Because they're
Mom.
gonna break them by tomorrow.
Look, Mom.
Okay.
After me and you done, it's a blessing. Me and you can go shopping.
See what I gotta go through.
What do you want to go shopping
gotta
for?
work.
I just want to get some candy for me, not boys.
See, she just want to go to the candy store. She just want to go to the
Y'all should got that.
7-Eleven.
No. We on a strict budget now. No more spending no money this weekend.
Okay, y'all.
Yeah.
Tiffany,
Me and Mom still
I'm in
going.
trouble.
I check that bank account every sometimes, but
$30 above.
Let's get the boss
Okay.
fight.
I probably got $30 in my purse. You go get $30 out my purse.
give me the whole 180.
Okay, charge my card, G.
I'm gonna get money back that's mine already. You be funny, dude.
I'm talking about from my personal credit card.
Exactly what I just said. I'm gonna get money back that's real. That's mine.
I replenish it from my paycheck.
I pay you.
So what's the problem here? We share funds. We share funds.
Share?
Share, yes, share.
That's
Mom,
a big
look,
word.
watch this.
Do we not?
Anyway.
Thank you for tuning in for today's episode As the World Turns.
As the world turns. Yeah.
Okay, y'all.
There's a new plastic.
Found in Numbers chapter 6, verses 22 through 27. And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, On this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, or saying unto the children of Enki. Oh, stop. Father, forgive me. It's too soon.
Let's restart again.
Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, On this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, Yahuwah will kneel before us, presenting
That
gifts,
counts.
and will guard us with a hedge of protection. Yahuwah will illuminate the wholeness of his being towards us, bringing order, and he will provide us with love, sustenance, and friendship. Yahuwah will lift up his wholeness of being and look upon us, and he will set in place all we need to be whole and complete. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. All right, beautiful people. We are the most, ain't we, Tiffany?
It's too big for you.
And this is just what y'all see on live
Give me my headphones.
TV. But y'all should see
Give me my
Mr. Murphy.
headphones, Dad.
Wow, man. This you, dude. Like, you don't be... That face ain't what y'all... As soon as that scar come off, the
Dad,
horns
stop
kick
touching
up.
my headphones.
Really?
You be acting too. Like,
Really?
Yo.
Don't do me like that. Seriously, you say that. What? He said as soon as that scarf come off.
Them horns come up.
Really?
That nose
Yes,
get wide.
and the arrow.
No, I'm joking.
Anybody that know me personally, girl, don't end them yet. Hold on. Any of these people here that know me personally, y'all know. Stop, girl. Y'all know me personally. Y'all know my husband be playing.
They said, I did that yesterday.
Okay. All right, y'all. So I guess we
ending
done.
it.
We done.
Not today.
All right, girl, baby, go ahead and end it. All right, y'all.